Smart tips, what's up?
Yeah,
So
what's
I
up?
currently want to get the iPhone 13 Pro Max, right? And I've been asking a lot of people if I should go for it this year 2025. And some people tell me, go for it, it's a good buy. Why some people tell me, no, do not go for the 13 Pro Max this year 2025. What do you think? Should I go for it?
All right, so those telling you to go for the iPhone 13 Pro Max
Okay.
this 2025, they are actually right. And those telling you not to go for it, they are also right. But in this video, I'm going to, explain everything you need to know, why you should go for it and why you shouldn't to go for it. And I'll give my final verdict, right? If I myself want to go for it this year 2025, okay, so that you can make the best choice when, getting a phone this year, right? So just watch this video to the very
All
end.
right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? So with me here is the iPhone 13 Pro Max, right? And this phone was released in 2021, which is about 3 years ago. And when this phone came out, it was actually the best phone, in 2021. But this is 2025. This is 3 years later, and we have the 14 series, you have the 15 series, you have the 16 series. This phone still worth it today? Should you still get it? Well, just like I said at the beginning of my video, the answer is both yes and no. Without wasting much of our time, let's just get started with why I'll be getting this phone this year 2025, and I move on to why I wouldn't be getting it, okay? So the very first thing on my list is the design and the body build. Now, iPhone has been using the same design since the iPhone 12 series, right? And it's still very much the same to the iPhone 16 series, right? So the only difference between this 13 Pro Max and the 16 Pro Max is they've added the side, button on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and the camera is slightly bigger on the 16 Pro Max. But every other, design and all is just like the copy and paste. Yes. So I think this design is still very, very, durable this year. This iPhone 13 Pro Max uses a solid, glass screen to protect it, and also a strong aluminum frame coating, right? So that when your phone mistakenly falls on the floor, you are actually safe. It won't, break or anything. Now, it has IP68 dust and water resistance, which means if this your phone should fall inside the water, or you're coming back from work and rain is falling, you have nowhere to keep your phone, this phone is still safe, right? But this does not mean if you are to get this phone by the end of this video, we should go and do the water resistance test. Because when it comes to, trying anything about water on your phone, it has to be a brand new device, right? Because if you're getting a used device, you're not sure if they've worked on the phone before, and you wouldn't want to just make that mistake and your phone is gone, okay? But for the design and the body build, this is still very durable compared to other devices, being released even this year, 2025. So it's a plus for the iPhone 13 Pro Max this year. Now, for the display of the iPhone 13 Pro Max, so this phone is a 6.7 inches phone, and it's actually the very first series that Apple produced with 120 Hz refresh rate. This means, you have a smoother playback, when suffering from one app to another or even scrolling through the phone. It makes it very, very smooth. Now, when watching movies on this phone, this iPhone 13 Pro Max is, a very color accurate smartphone. Yeah, so it means you are getting every detailed color when you are using this phone. So there's to watch movies, play game, or anything that has to do with the display. So it is still a plus for the display of this phone, even this year in 2025. Now, let's move to the battery. How long does this last? So this actually has 4,352 mAh, and it supports fast charging and also wireless charging. Now, while this phone may not take you like for the whole day, like 24 hours, right? If you have to use it for day-to-day activities, once it's fully charged, it can take you for a very long time before you can go start looking for, let's say your power bank or the rest of them. All right. But if you're a gamer, playing game on this phone, trust me, it may not last you up to 12 hours. Okay, this is just for your day-to-day usage. Now, talking about the fast charging on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, it takes just 30 minutes to get, from 0 to 50%. Wow, that is actually very fast, because I've seen other phones that was released even, from last year 2024, this year 2025, and they don't, charge that fast from 0 to 50% in just 30 minutes. So with just about 1 hour plus, your phone is filled up from 0 to, 100%, and you can go about your day. So this is a plus for both the battery and the charging. Now, for the performance, so the iPhone 13 Pro Max came out with the A15 Bionic chipset, which as of 2021 was, one of the most powerful chipsets on any smartphone. And now this phone has, 6 gig of RAM, and you can actually select your SSD, be it 256 or 512 or probably 1 terabyte. Yes, and with all this, plus the chipset, plus the RAM it has, and also the 120 Hz refresh rate I talked about during display, yes, you can actually enjoy gaming on this phone and any other thing without it hanging or lagging. Right? Because one thing people don't understand is the processor on the smartphone is actually one of the reasons your phone is going to either be very smooth and very fast, or it is going to lag and start overheating. So with the chipsets, the RAM, the refresh rates on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, you won't even experience anything called overheating or even lagging, right? And this is one thing I love about this. So if you're playing your game, be it Call of Duty, PUBG, Free Fire, and the rest of them, this phone is going to handle it smoothly. Yes, and once it can handle gaming, I think it can handle any other thing you are doing on your smartphone. Because I think, when it comes to smartphone, gaming is one of the heaviest thing you can do right there on it. Okay, if I'm mistaken, let me know in the comment section. So with all this, I would still give it a plus for the 13 Pro Max because of its performance and its processors, right? Now talking about updates, so we have the iOS 18.2.3 at this point I'm making this video, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max is gonna get the latest iOS updates. I'm sure even up till next 2 years. Now, why do I say so? So currently the iOS 19 is gonna come out this year, and the iPhone X is gonna be getting it. The iPhone XR is gonna be getting it. So if I do the calculation, let's say maybe from next year, we have the iOS 20, 21, 22, right? So if I to minus each iPhone series, next 3 years the iPhone 13 Pro Max is still going to be getting the latest update. So for the iOS updates, it is still a plus for it because till the next 2 to 3 years, this is going to be updated. Now, for the cameras on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, this is one major thing most people look out when they're about to get an iPhone or probably any phone. They don't even check what can the phone do, like I talk about in the processor and the performance. They just check what can it snap. And I'm going to tell you that this iPhone 13 Pro Max takes amazing pictures and videos, right? So the triple camera behind it is 12 MP, right? And also the selfie camera is 12 MP. Or regardless of the megapixel it takes, guys, this is still very amazing. I've taken pictures with it, I've made videos with it, and I love what I'm seeing. Well, instead of me telling you all about the cameras, why don't you see for yourself what I've taken on this phone? So currently I'm testing the normal video camera, not the cinematic, so you guys can see the quality. I still think this is very cool. It's very cool. Let's begin. So right now, this is the normal video, right? No longer the cinematic, no. So just tell me what you think of the quality. Let me just move around so you can see if it's good. Yeah, I'm no longer where there is sun because not every time someone wants to take a picture, you're gonna see sun around. So let's see if it's still okay. Yeah. Now, when it comes to the camera, one thing I also love about is the cinematic mode, which the iPhone added in the iPhone 13 series. And this cinematic mode is more of you can actually shoot portrait videos. Yes, just like portrait videos on Samsung, is cinematic mode on the iPhone 13 series and above. And it makes your shoots actually look more cinematic, where your main focus is being seen, while it blurs out every other part on the video.
So this is me testing out the cinematic mode of the front camera, the selfie camera. Yeah, so we can see the quality. Okay, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section what you think of this quality. I will check out the normal, video camera aside the cinematic. Okay, but I think this is cool. This is good. But you still have to watch this video to the very end before you go purchasing this phone. All right, do not make that mistake of just stopping here to go and get this phone. Okay.
So with everything I've said from the body build and the design, the battery, the charging, the performance, the camera, every single thing, the iOS updates, you can see that this phone is still so much, what it is in 2025, right? And most people will be going for it. But now there's just one problem. Yes, just one problem. If those, if this problem was not here, then I'll, tell you guys 100% go for this phone this year. Now, the iPhone 13 Pro or Pro Max, has what we call the blank screen of death. Now, what does this mean? So, this example, I am, playing game on this phone, or probably I'm done making a call on WhatsApp and everything. I drop this phone on this table over here, and I go to sleep. Next morning, I come back to pick my phone is blank. Like it did not fall, it did not hit anything. I didn't put side water for the water test and all. It is black. It just start showing plain white screen or plain green screen or plain black screen. And I have to go and fix it. Wow. Now, most iPhone 13 Pro Max users have complained about this online. Like it's so much, right? So it is not like just few people experiencing this. Almost everybody's in the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And this is one of the reasons why I would not advise you to go for this phone this year 2025. Unless you want to keep, the money to repair it aside, then you can go for it. But instead of keeping the money aside, why don't you just probably go for the 14 Pro Max? Because the iPhone 14 Pro Max is, one of the best phones iPhones have ever released, right? It doesn't have any issue, right? It is just so perfect. Yeah, and I can just advise you to go for that one instead of going for the 13 Pro Max this year. Okay. But if you don't mind the blank screen of death, the phone is, a powerful machine here. Okay. So let me make a question. If you're going to be going for the iPhone 13 Pro Max this year 2025, or this video, gave you a change of mind, and which other phone will you be going for? Will you switch to probably Samsung? Because currently I'm shooting on my Samsung S23 Ultra, and I've done a video about that also. I made a full review on the Samsung S23 Ultra, right? I've talked about, other phones also, the 12, the 11, you know, check my channel. You're going to see all these videos about any gadgets you need. Okay. So I'll be seeing you guys in the comment section where we chat on which phone you're going to be going for instead of the iPhone 13 Pro Max, or if you're still going to be going for it. Okay. So I hope I've answered your question. See you guys.